Welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. Good morning, good morning. My name is Rotimi Tayo, and I'm streaming here from our Lagos studios to Nigeria, to West Africa, to Africa, and to the entire world. It's such a lovely opportunity to be here with you once again. This is one of the favorite shows that I'm sure that you have within the world of education, and we always come to you every Monday all through to Friday. The Good Morning Education Show is always starting on by 8 all through to the hour of 9. And it's always a great morning on the show. We have fantastic voices, experts, analysts who join us from time to time to share with us their wealth of knowledge and their views and the dimension and perspective they have on the subject matter of the day. And today will not be an exception. These individuals are voices in the education industry. They're strong voices within the education industry, and the people that I can vouch for, the people I've worked with from time to time. And I'm your host, and of course I'm always there for you to answer your questions, to bring you information, and to deliberate with you, and also to ensure that we all learn together. And please do understand, in the course of the show we always have opportunity to talk about the news, updates around the world of education, headlines, events coming up, and all that. We also take up your questions that you might have on the subject matter of the day, and in some cases on the things that bother you, especially if it's between the news items or the headlines or the conversations that we're having for the day. But we also look forward to having your contribution, because we know no one is an island, no one is the proprietary of knowledge. We want to learn from you as you learn from us, so that we can share together. And ultimately, what we have is that we're growing together. And it's always a great morning on the Good Morning Education Show. So this is our official way of saying good morning, good morning, good morning. And I can see that we have some new participants. We have Stephen Precious Azar. Thank you for joining me. Saying I'm staying at Lagos State Ibejuleki. Bell of blessings for all our first timers today, and of course Gideon Essien, welcome to the show. We will be having a fantastic conversation on the Good Morning Education Show today, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And this show today, we will also spend some time to talk about so many things as well, and we will review the news together as well. Okay, so once we do that, I believe that everything is fine, and everything is sure, and everything is calm. All right. So let's just pop up the topic of today. Today we are talking about from resolution to reputation. The conversation of today is going to affect everyone. It's talking about educators, education professionals, the individuals, group of people, teams, unit, departments, organization, even ministries as well, because it's something that is applicable to everyone. And I want you to pay attention, because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to observe as well the things that are required of you as an individual, if you want to stay ahead, if you want to get ahead as well. So please do not in any way hesitate to be a part of this. I'm going to bring up some of the headline news so that you can look at what's happening within the world of education, and let's see how that will help us, so to speak, to get some things out in the open. Just a second. Yes. All right. So that's that for the show, and I believe that it's a very good opportunity for us to hear from you. So once again, thank you to those who joined me for the first time. I'm trying to, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. All right, so I'm going to bring up the first news that I'll deliberate on, and then from there we'll take it up. So the first news I'm having here is COVID-19 vaccines candidate on WHO list. That's Nigerian COVID-19 vaccine candidate on WHO list. That's talking about researcher. And speaking on the same vaccine, we are hearing about the possibility of 45% of the population of Nigerians, that 45% of population of Nigerians will receive COVID 19 vaccination before the year end. That's what's trending in the news right now. I don't know how that's going to happen. We're already in February and we're talking about 45%, almost half our population. Our projected population, if it's 200 million, then it seems to mean that we'll be having roughly about 80 to 90 million Nigerians having the vaccination. Then, of course, the Uni story says researchers develop new maize breed. That's fantastic. A new groundbreaking rule for the world of agriculture and agribusiness. And then we also have an 11-year-old student emerges BHMGS, and I believe that BHMGS is also another word for Bishop Howell Memorial Grammar School, right? That's a very good one. That's a very good one, and I believe that it's also going to, stir people up to give children opportunity to come closer to leadership and privileged positions. Okay, we have another person. Adeyinka is joining us today. Adeyinka, welcome to the show. And she's saying, good morning. I'm staying in Lagos, Ikoyi, to be precise. So Adeyinka, thank you for connecting with us and thank you for sharing your morning with us on the Good Morning Education Show. Thank you so much. All right, so without wasting much time, I'm going to I'm going to start the conversation for the day. And like we said, we're talking about from resolution, from resolution to reputation. I'm sure most people have heard of the word resolution from um, time immemorial. A lot of people have heard of the word resolution. Resolution is gotten from the word resolve, taking a decision or making up your mind about something, right? That's what resolution really is all about. And it's always common when we approach a new year or when something defining is happening to an individual, you get to hear them speak about their resolution, about their resolve, about their decision to do something. You know, that is very important. So we see sometimes these things happening, um, and it sometimes puts us in a position where we begin to question. So what do resolution mean? Resolution is not just a decision, but it's a decision that is defining for the individual, the group of people involved. So when you hear about something like a New Year resolution pretty much just puts you in a position to say that this is what you want to do for the year. This is your disposition for the year, or uh, this is the state of mind that you have towards a particular thing, or this is your change in disposition over a particular matter. That's what resolution totally means. And from now, from every time, from time to time, you and I will be faced with making resolutions. Resolutions do not necessarily have to be restricted to a calendar period where we look at it that, oh, you're looking at 31st of December, or you're looking at the first few days in the year in January, or even the first month, and then you're thinking about your life, you're thinking about your job, you're thinking about your career, you're thinking about your friendships, you're thinking about every dimension of your life, and you're thinking about it and you're saying that you're making a resolution, right? Resolution will happen to you at different points, at crossroads. There will be need for you to take resolutions at planning phases, at training retreats. There will be things called resolution. It's almost like saying, so what next? What are you going to do with what you know? What are you going to do with what you've heard? What are you going to do with what you've learned? But you see, one important thing that we need to realize is that there are two distinct things about resolution. Number one, it comes from the place of conceptual, when you're conceptualizing things. You're thinking and then you're anchored in the other side, which is number two, the place of desire. So a lot of times our resolution is that I just desire to be a better person. I just desire a better result. I desire specific things. So our resolution speaks about the way we are seeing things, the way we resolve to see things, the way we resolve to do things. And because that's our resolution, right? It puts us as saying that we have gotten the answer to what we seek. We have gotten the answers to what we lack. We have gotten the answers to what we desire or want. Now, let me shock you if you don't mind. Whenever you look at the word resolution, something should jump at you. It almost simply means that you should tear that word apart. If you look at resolution, you have something staring at you in the face. You have re and you have solution, right? You have re and you have solution. And how do we look at it in a complete approach? What simply means is this: your resolution has to do with the things that you resolve as having solution. So the solution to lack, the solution to failure, the solution to non-performance, the solution to workplace frustration, all these solutions are actually requiring you to repeat a process. Because when you look at the word re, so many things come to mind. When you look at the word re, it's telling you something that has to be repetitive, something that you need to do again. When you look at the word re, it's telling you about almost something that you might need to position yourself for. So that's what it means. Repeat solution. It's almost like saying resound solution. It's almost like saying rewired solution. It's almost like saying reconfigured solution. How do I fix procrastination? I want to make a resolution this year that I will not procrastinate. Almost what it simply means is what I need to do, what I need to stop so that I won't procrastinate. I need to have it and begin to repeat those things. That's really what resolution is. And I have my friend and sister, expert analyst, in the studio today, and that's Titi Adeosi, co-founder of Ninja Kids. Titi is a fantastic individual. I'm sure by the time you hear her speak, she's going to come with a serious, strong viewpoint of what we're talking about today. Titi, welcome to the show. Are you there?
Good morning, Rotimi. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I hope I haven't missed any juicy news.
Well, you've missed the news actually.
Oh my goodness!
So, are you going to turn on your video?
Yes, just give me a few seconds.
All right. So I'm trying to introduce this conversation of the day, talking about resolution, and saying from resolution to reputation, and we're saying it from that angle and making people understand that when you speak about resolution, it stands to represent a resolve, a defining decision about certain matters or certain aspects of what you want to carry out. So your resolution pretty much puts you as one who has decided your fate about a matter, as one who has decided your major thought about a matter. So that's what your resolution is about. And it is easy to understand resolution from the point of breaking the word apart. And so when you see the word resolution, you can see the word solution and the word re. So re in most cases speaks about repetition or repeating something, re-emphasizing something. Re can say, oh, it can equally mean draw your attention to something, or please let me take your attention to something, or let me respond to something. It can mean let me create how do I put it now? A re-engineering or a rewiring of something. So anyone who sees resolution should understand it's talking about solutions that are repeated so that it can have the result. Solutions that have been rewired based on previous results or previous outcome. Solutions that are desired, more or less like a reinforcement to certain solutions. That's what resolution is all about. And I believe that that's why people sometimes go into the year and they say their resolution, but they do not make their resolution. And for you to have a resolution is for you to say and to make. It's not just to say that this year I will sleep less, or this year I will sleep more, this year I will work more. It's more of saying and making. And you know that when you use the word making, production is in place, processes are in place, input is in place. So when we make resolution, we are not making it from the point of statement. We are making it from the viewpoint of, oh, it's been done. Why is it been done? Because we've said it, we've made it to have it. You understand? So that's what it is about. And then, of course, we want to be able to get people to understand that, because it is from resolution that we actually move to reputation. Because the goal that we seek is actually beyond the first rung of the ladder. So, Titi, what are your thoughts about that? Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show.
Wow, Rotimi, that was an awesome introduction. An awesome introduction. I like the way you put the pieces together. You know, you have the knack, what I call the knack of doing that. And I like the fact that you said that it has to start with a resolution, so like you deciding, either as an organization, as a teacher, as an educator, or even as a school. What have you kind of decided? And those decisions, backed up with a number of things, will eventually lead to your reputation. So I like that. I think for me, let's break it down. Let's break it down. So if a school makes a decision to say that I want to be a school that is driven by 21st century skills, that is their, what I would call their resolution, solution to, what it is today. And they now say that they want to be a 21st century school, which means they want to be driven by mass. They don't want to be driven by math, English, and science in that sense, but they want to be driven by critical thinking, creativity, communication, use of technology. Then, based on that decision, they have to make some smaller decisions. What does that mean? How do I break it down? So if I want to be a school driven by technology, it then means I need to have technology. And each time there's a decision to be made, you make that decision against your resolution. And over time, if you keep making that decision, so, oh, should we do this or should we do that? Is this going to lead us to our resolution? If you keep making that every time a decision comes up, or you need to do an action, and you make it against that resolution, eventually that becomes your reputation. So if I'm going to now break it down to us, we have said as an organization, we want to be known for learning that is effortless, learning that is not like, going against the current. And to achieve that, there's a fun and play element that needs to come into it. So it means that everything that we are doing, every product that we bring out, every decision we're making, we're always saying, is that going to help the learning be effortless? Is that going to help the learning be fun? Is that going to help the learning be playful? What's the playful element to it? What's the fun element to it? And so when we keep making that over and over again, eventually we're going to have a place where our reputation is for creating content that is fun learning. Another resolution that we made as an organization, because I'm just trying to make it practical, is to say that we want to be known for quality. And our idea of quality is not African or local quality, which means it's a quality that can stand the test of anybody from anywhere looking at it. So it means that every decision we make, we're not saying we can manage it like that now. Shey is this local school that we're giving it to. We can manage it like that. These people don't know any better. No. So we keep making that decision each time we do something, we're like, no, let's, can we send this out? We say we can't send this out because it doesn't meet the standard that we're looking for. Over time, you then arrive at the place where it is that you're known for that reputation. So I think everyone needs to ask themselves, and sometimes you can walk backwards to say, what reputation do I want? And if this is the reputation I want, what resolutions must I make that become my guiding principle every time I need to make a decision? So it's same, for instance, and I like to break it down again. I want to be an educator. I want to be an educator that is making strides in whatever area I choose. So let's say I'm a science teacher. So it means that when it's time to look for a job, I don't look for that job based on how much they are paying, but I look at the job based on, would that job foster my resolution? Is there a place that they are very focused on science such that it will allow me stretch myself and be the science teacher that I am? Is that place, such that they're making investment in science whereby I will be able to build my reputation? Is that place so that they allow free expression of the educator so that you can contribute? Is that a place that keeps pushing you to be your best? So that at the end of it, my reputation as one of the foremost science teacher will be achieved. So each person needs to ask themselves, what reputation do I want? What resolutions will get me to my reputation? What are the solutions, plus solutions, Mr. Rotimi has said, that will get me there? Good morning, everyone. We can see that some people want to throw in questions. I think even that says, can we ask questions? These questions are allowed, sir. Yes. Even Precious Isaiah. This is an interactive session. Questions are allowed. Please feel free to throw in questions. So, Rotimi, let me stop my talk and back to you.
So thank you so much, because I noticed something over the years as a result of trying to help people achieve more. We've replaced the meaningfulness of having a resolution to setting goals, and sometimes it's just like it's a play of words, but also it's actually people getting to miss out on the visioning for what they want to achieve, because you cannot set goals without visioning of some sort. In fact, it limits the extent of whatever goals you want to set, because you have to have a picture that you are painting as a target that you want to achieve. So there's nothing wrong with having resolution. A lot of people say, there's nothing, don't go and have New Year resolution. Don't go and have New Year resolution. I think the problem has always been the understanding behind what it is, not that the resolution as a word in itself. And so someone might be asking a question. So, sir, how many times can I make a resolution? We constantly make resolution. Titi, what are you having for breakfast? That's a resolution. Whatever you decide on. But you find out that a lot of things need to be addressed when resolution comes to mind. Resolution is like muscles. You gain vantage from the use of it because it's all about solution. It's not rare. How do I put it now? It's not. There's a word I'm trying to get. Resolution is not talk.
It's not static. It's not static.
It's not. God bless you. It's not static. It's not just something that is talk, right? You must be in the practice of solution, and that's how mastery comes. That you are confident in decision making. You are learning to take little steps, and resolving that the steps you are taking, they are in tangent with the solution of what you seek. Now let's move a bit further. When we now get to the issue of reputation, we need to understand that reputation and resolution, there's a gap in between both of them. For you to have reputation, something must precede it. Reputation is the offspring of results, if you were to put it that way, right? Reputation is the offspring of result. So you have a man give birth to a child, like father, like son. If the son is reputation, Result is the father, or better still, the mother. Do you understand? So what it simply means is this: for you to put the powerful trial as you go into your career, as you go into the year, and yes, you might say it's February, but it's never too late to get into resolution mode. Sometimes we review friendship and we come out with a resolution.
Yeah.
Some of the things we do with that resolution, we hear it in official language, say communicate. So what it simply means is this. So what it simply means is this: when you take consciousness and have defining moments about your career, about your friendships, about your pursuit, about your network, about your style of work, about your progressiveness, about your research and development, about your learning, about everything that you do this year, move from resolution and activate results. When you have resolution and you have results, it earns you reputation. Reputation doesn't mean good, doesn't mean bad. Reputation is reputation. So let me give you an example. If you have someone who has resolved not to value time, you know what will happen to that person? He will always be late to things, to the point that it will earn a reputation of lateness. So it's almost like saying it's in your character to do certain things because we already feel you've earned a name for the results we consistently seek. The challenge is this: there are times that the results we have, they are not what we seek. But whether you like it or not, the world will never award you for your intentions. They would only reward you based on the actions that they see. So if you don't like your results, there's a tendency you will not like the reputation that you have. And so if you don't want your reputation to be stained, you don't want your reputation to be average, you don't want your reputation to be awful, then you must go back, like Titi said, retrace your steps, go back to your resolve. There's something that needs to happen at the place of resolution. Resolution is a repetitive process, is a rewiring or reconfiguration process that you have to be sincere with yourself. Because a lot of us, especially, I've looked at my life, I've seen it happen many times. And I remember going to meet a very senior colleague of mine when she visited the country. I just took the opportunity. I said, look, you don't get opportunity to see coaches and mentors like that. So I said, you know what, and I can't forget that evening. And there's some questions, when you're a coach and you're used to talking to people, dishing it back to people, now you are the one, the tables are turned. I asked you those questions and I could see it. And I found out that the truth is, she said, you know what, can I be honest with you? I said, yes, please be honest. Tell me anything. She said, two things. One, you've got the answer. Two, you need the resolve. And that's where it hit me, that most times people know what to do, but people don't get resolved about what to do. A lot of people have answers. What is missing is that resolve. They are not resolute that this is what they want to do.
Yeah. I think that, Rotimi, just to hammer on something that you said, is that every day we are taking decisions. And if you do not have a resolution, you're still building a reputation. It's just that, you're leaving it to, you're not being intentional. And is that example of what you said about someone that is known for being late? Even though you did not make a resolve, but you are still, because of things you consistently do, you are still building your reputation. So what's important is, the difference is that a resolution allows you to make a conscious and intentional decision to build the reputation that you want. Any other thing just leaves things to the flow of your habits. All of us have bad habits. All of us have bad habits. But when you make a resolution, it then, kicks in some intentional actions that you need to take to building your reputation. Okay, let's listen to what Stephen is saying. He said, you're talking about resolution to reputation, some aspect of having reputation. how can our resolutions be planned? How can our resolutions be planned? I'll let Rotimi take the first bite on that.
All right. So we said that that for it to be planned, first thing is it needs to be said. It needs to be mentioned. And you know there are different ways you say things. You say things by writing it down. You say things by voicing it out. You say things by it resonating with you and you accepting that that's what you need to do. So when you write those things that need to become a resolve, remember, resolution is a process. So you write the things that need to happen, or the things that you desire to happen, or the things that you lack and needs to be fixed for things to happen. Once you write it down, you say it out, that's the beginning of putting it into a process. Now, please understand, writing it down doesn't make it happen. Writing it down just sets the agenda for you to make it happen. So when you step into a new year, or you step into your birthday, or you step into a new job, or you step into a career, you hear, for example, in jobs and in governance, people say first 100 days, 100 days in office. That's a form of resolution, saying that in the next 3 months or so, this is what the position or picture to do. Now, a resolution, once you've written it down, the next thing you need to do is to create an activity timeline. What it what it means is this: all your statements of resolution, they are conceptual. There is no comma, there's no paragraph, meaning that it doesn't recognize week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. If you say, for example, you will be a great person at work, you will be an outstanding performer, you will stop having poor results. That thing does not have July inside that statement. It doesn't have March inside that statement. It doesn't have evening. It doesn't have weekend. It's a blanket statement. It is dateless. It is not subject to calendar. You now have to make sure the statement is a solution to your lack. The statement is a solution to your pain. The statement is a solution to your projection. How do you do that? From this statement, make it meaningful as at Monday. Make it meaningful as at Sunday. So you are going to plot dates or time schedule, that's what they call it, into that statement. Tear the statement apart and say, this is the solution as according to Monday. This is the solution according to week 1. This is the solution according to week 2. That's the way to plan it into process. And then you now begin to take actions and monitor results, because your results is what delivers reputation. And as you are seeing the results you like, you are having a reputation that you will like. If you are seeing results you don't like, then you need to go back to the drawing board. It's a continuous thing. Titi, you can add to that, please.
Yeah, I think Rotimi has said, once you make resolution, it then needs to be broken down further into actionable steps that have the timeline. And then I think the most important part of all those is that monitoring. So it's like when the new politicians come into and they promise you plenty things. What they've made is a blanket statement. They now need to then break it down to how that thing happened and by what timing. So same thing with you. You need to break it down, and by what timing. And I think of all those things, the most important is monitoring and recalibrating. So if, for instance, you said, "Oh, I'm going to take this certification because it's going to help me in this area," what date deadline do you give yourself? So you gave yourself July. You are meant to register for the exams. You have some action steps. So register for the exam, prepare for it, take exam by so date. July comes. If you don't have that monitoring system that allows you to check on it, then your resolution will not translate to your reputation. So you need a kind of accountability system that helps you check. You just have to have that. If you don't have that thing that allows you to do a stop, pause, review, you will not get there. So that when you get to that place of stop, pause, review, you then see what you've done right and wrong, and then you recalibrate. So let me take like an organization like ours. So an organization, when we have those our monthly meetings, our monthly meetings are accountability checkpoints. They are accountability checkpoints that allow us to say, okay, this is what we planned for the month. Did we get there? If we didn't get there, let's recalibrate. When will we get there? What do we need to get there? What should we continue doing? What should we stop doing? And then you recalibrate. If you don't have that, then it will be hard. So you need an accountability system to be able to get you from resolution to reputation. For anything, you need a means of it. Can be as simple as setting reminders on your phone. So I said I was going to take this exam by so date, and I set a reminder on that date to say, register for exam, because the exams are meant to be taken at a particular time. You need to have an accountability system. For some people, the accountability system is getting a coach, getting a mentor, because that keeps them in check. That coach and mentor sits with you and says, when we met last time, you said we were going to do A, B, C, and C. How far with that? What have you done? What do you need to do? So you need to just have some accountability system that works for you, that keeps you in check. If you don't have that, you won't get there. It is important, and I'll give you a very interesting one. I remember that when I wanted to start Nigeria Kids, I was still working. When the idea came to me, I was still working in my last job. But you know what? I said I'm going to start. So I went and registered. I went and registered the website, registered the domain. I then had this plan of kickstarting the whole thing. I started the process. But you know what? Life happened. And then when life happened, I got carried away with my day-to-day job and forgot all about it. But you know the accountability check that came? When the domain was to be renewed exactly a year later, I got an email from the host, and they're telling me that it's time to renew that thing. And then that was like a check. You mean a year had planned since my resolution, and I really done nothing about it. And that was the turning point. So you need to understand that you have to have that accountability system. If you don't have it, you most likely not get to your promised land. We must have that accountability system. You need to create it whatever way it can. That's why I said it can be as simple as reminders on your phone to at various checkpoints. It can be having a coach or having a mentor. It can be just having someone that the two of you have decided to do something, and you'll be saying, let's check in every month on how far we're doing it, and let's be accountability partners. That's really what gets you to where you're going. Okay.
And there's some. Thank you so much for that. Stephen is saying thanks for this wonderful contribution. May God grant us more wisdom, amen, and understanding. Sometimes we say certain things that we can easily zone in on. When somebody says alpha, we say that thing almost like without thinking. How far? It's like greeting in our own side of the world. Alpha, what's up? Alpha. That in itself is some form of accountability in a way. You can just take that cue that if you have a friend that you respect their views and they're mature enough to keep certain information, if somebody says alpha, you can use that to just trigger yourself to say, oh, alpha with what I'm doing, alpha with my plans, how far am I on the proposed resolution that I have, So please, resolution from today, if you've ever been in that shoe where you blacklisted the word resolution and you hate the word, you discriminate against the word, I really want us to have a change in mind. Resolution is that you don't use the word resolution doesn't mean you're not making resolution. It's not a negative word, it's not the word that has the problem. It's most times the people who have not resolved to follow through with what they've said. Let's use an example. There's a lot of times, yes, there's an algorithm conversation around social media and all that. But we know that many times people see a post about a training, they see a post about an app, they see a post about a worksheet, download this or pay X amount for this. And you hear people say, fantastic, I'm in, count me in. And the next thing, those people, you don't get to see them register. You don't get to see them take the steps they need to take. So sometimes I look at it that, was it that they were lying? Was it because we are a lot of times we have, especially educators, we've earned a reputation for not making a resolve, for not following through. What can be done in such situation? Titi.
You see,
or you've not experienced it before?
where what? Everybody has experienced. You know that procrastination is the enemy of success. When I talk about habits of, 7 habits of effective people, you find that we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. And one of the things that I found that works for me, right, is having that people that want to go where you're going. Surrounding yourself with people that want to go where you're going. It makes it easier. I think that's why the that saying of two heads are better than one. Even the Bible says that two are better. If one falls down, it means that rarely will two of you fall down. If one falls down, the other one can pull him up. And there's just something about that. You need to join. You need to be part of a community of people that are going where you're going. So let me give an example. It's like when you try to lose weight by yourself, or when you try to lose weight in a gym, or when you try to lose weight, when you join a community of people that are sharing their stories, and maybe at the end of the month, everybody's going to publish what it is that they've done. Just because of toward that tail of the month, when everybody goes to publish, you feel that sometimes it just activates something in you to, let me go and do so. I won't be the only person I won't be the last person that has that did not. There's that thing of being with like-minded people. It says that don't hang around people that are not going anywhere, because you yourself will not get there. So I want to put that effect of being in company of like-minded people that helps you get to where you want to go. So that even if you're a normal procrastinator, which most of us have, when you're in company of people that are going somewhere, they kind of drag you along. And then when you're in company of the same opposite, people that are going nowhere, I can tell you, you will go nowhere. So are you part of a community of people that are going? And for me, that is one of the easiest. There's a pull effect of people that are going somewhere. There's just that pull effect. You find that that's like when people are successful, a lot of their friends around them are, because they say, oh boy, did you hear about this opportunity? Do you understand? Because we're in a community, if I hear of an opportunity for Rotimi, I will let him know, because all of us must get there. If I hear all this, I will send to him. So there's that important thing of being part of a group of people that are going where you're going. It helps. That for me is a key thing that I would say.
Okay, so we have Finn here. Finn, welcome to the show. She's saying discipline helps to move from the excitement of resolution. Castles on paper to putting in the work to walking the path of reputation. Fantastic. Discipline is very important. And like I said, procrastination can rob you of fantastic resolutions, just like Titi also mentioned, which eventually hinders great results and in the end affects your reputation. Olushola
Yeah.
Olumide, good morning, welcome.
Rosie,
What are
I want you to talk a bit more about the discipline. If there's anything that makes one person more successful than the other, it's like really the person's discipline. You find that if you look at athletes, if you see how disciplined they are, that thing of going through your rigor of your training every morning and going the extra mile, it's so important. And it's something that we need to start to teach children at an early age. That discipline, discipline, because reading and studying takes discipline. If you want to sew an outfit, the whole process of cutting it, putting it together, sewing it takes discipline. That's why a lot of people have uncompleted projects, because that missing element is there. discipline. It's so important. So I'm looking at that, and anybody that's listening out there, I'm saying whether you're a parent, whether you're an educator, or even for yourself, discipline is such an important thing. You need to go and learn how to be disciplined, because discipline allows you, when, as Fiyifolu said, when all the bisbas calms down, when all the excitement calms down, discipline is what allows you to do it. You know, we employ as interns young children, and immediately they come, they're like, oh, they want to do exciting projects, you know, they want the excitement. You know, when they look at the likes of Google and Facebook, it gives that impression that everything's excitement. I tell you about the daily grind is not excitement. You know, the daily grind. Once you start a project, there's the excitement, but to get it to the end, it's not excitement, it's discipline. So everything you do, there's that work part of it, that you need to get through, whether you feel like or not. And that's where discipline comes in.
Thank you so much. You know, I love the way you said the daily grind is not always fun and exciting. You know, sometimes it reminds me of how you are in a meeting, you are having a brief, you're explaining everything, and everybody's like, wow, fantastic. And you're projecting results that will happen. And then they say, oh, what's the deal? Oh, fantastic, we're doing it. And after you leave that excitement of bagging a good deal, then you're down with your pen and paper, like, it works that. It's such a fun experience. Just for one contrast to the other, you know. Stephen is asking another question. We all know that resolution is still the same thing as planning. But when making resolutions, should we tell friends or family that we're making some plans? Titi, you're smiling. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think that resolution and planning, they're not the same thing. They look alike, they sound alike, but they're not alike. They're not the same thing. Resolution has a lot of, how do I put it? Resolution is what triggers planning.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of willpower when it comes to resolution. There's a lot of mind and disposition. So, and that's why we normally say that you are making a statement of resolution is because a decision is taking place. But then you've not necessarily called it resolution until you make it happen. So it's two components. The saying it either verbally, writing it down, thinking it out, making your mind up, and also acting it out. That's making it happen. So that's why you not call it resolution. Resolution is not intention based. Resolution is resolve based. Almost like I am on the go kind of
Is
thing.
a firm mindset. You know, resolution is a firm mindset about something. Planning is a subset. Planning is what you see when I've made the resolution. When I'm
exactly.
So planning is the, you know, what resolution is what guys are planning. If you're not resolute, planning won't start. You can start the planning and not be resolute, you still won't get to the end. So, you know, it's not the same. But to answer his second question, which is, should you tell family and friends? My answer to you is, do not cast pearls
before swine.
So
either has an ear, let him hear.
That you need to be selective. If you have a decision that is a pearl and you then go telling it to everyone, they are casting your pearls to swine. What was the word I said? You need like-minded people. It's like you you're an area boy, and then you're going to tell them that you want to go to school. What would they tell you? Fukini, hey, you know, that kind of thing. They will tell you how much they are making here. Meanwhile, they are seeing some people that they went to school, they're educated, they don't have the kind of money they are making. So that's like casting your pearls to swine. So when you make a resolution, you need the people that would help that bring that thing, birth it. They would help you, get there. They would help encourage you. You don't need naysayers. So you need to be careful who you tell your resolutions to. So, and you need to also be objective and honest with yourself to be able to tell yourself this and this are not the people I should tell them to. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So you need to make a decision when you know what you've decided. That thing happens all the time. We know people to tell you. When someone knows that Rotimi is my correct friend, if I tell him something, he will tell me don't do this. I will go and look for another person who will tell me, it's okay. Let's be honest with ourselves. We know that if I want to do something good, the people to go and talk to. If I want something, if I can't tell Rotimi I want to do this thing that is not particularly, Rotimi will tell me no, it's not for any of this kind of thing, because Rotimi is is a ethical person. I know the people that will talk to say, hey, well, when you finish, you can go and give some of the money in church, as offering, that's what this person does. There's nobody that is not, we know those people. So what I would say is that cast your pearls to the people that will help nurture it and know the value of what you're giving. Good question. Robbie, back to you.
Why is it back to me? How do we inculcate? I asked the question actually. How do we inculcate discipline and make it a lifestyle? Really, because trust me, sometimes you want to do something and you really crave that people get to be doing it with you just to be a form of encouragement, because it's not easy. Let me give you an example. You're staying up awake at night and you have something you need to turn in before morning, and everybody around you is snoozing out. It's just like your mind just starts playing tricks on you that you can sleep and wake up early and you finish it up. Those kind of things. But then of course discipline goes beyond staying awake. Discipline, how do we get to inculcate it, right? And how do we make it a lifestyle? As experts, as professionals, as educators, what do we do?
Okay, let me just give some of my own ideas. I think the first thing is that you need to know your weakness. when it comes to building discipline, you need to know your weakness. So we all have weaknesses. That's the honest truth. And then when you know your weakness, you have to remove those temptations away from you. Okay. So let me give an example. I remember that I want to stay fit and lose weight. My weakness is that I like to sleep. That early morning sleep is a major one. So what are some of the things that I do? So that means I have to make a conscious effort to go to bed early. I want to wake up. Now, because I'm also not that disciplined, I have people that wake me up to go to the gym. So I had my sister who was more disciplined than I was in that area. So what that meant is that she would come and then pick me up and we then go to the gym together. So I had a clear goal. Do you understand? I knew my weakness. My weakness was the waking up. So I had someone that helped me with that. And then over time, my body starts to kind of adjust to it. So it meant that I started creating a habit of doing that. So my strength and my willpower started, and of course, if I have a backup plan, if that discipline, if I can't get up that morning. But what I'm just saying is that to inculcate discipline, once you make the resolve, you need to know what are your weaknesses. So let's say, for instance, you're not used to eating healthy. I made up a mind you want to start eating healthy. What that means is that, what are your weaknesses? Your weakness is that if you go to the office, it's only junk food around. So it means that remove the temptations, cook your healthy meal and take to the office. You know that when you go to the staff canteen, that's when they have all the junk. So maybe instead of doing that, if you're allowed to eat at your desk, eat at your desk. So you can see what I'm saying, making that conscious effort, working on your weaknesses, creating a new habit. And say, my new habit is this. So those are some of the things. And then I can't say more than enough, helping yourself, have someone that kind of helps you is one of the ways that you should be disciplined. So look at athletes, you know, they have coaches. The coaches are people that drive them also to be disciplined. They drive them to be in discipline because they're the ones that are going to come and get you up. They're going to push you through the loops. The day that you want to give up, they'll say no. Just, you know, finish the lap. So it's a thing of surrounding yourself with things that help the signs up, also removing the temptations and the weaknesses, and you know, helping you. It's the same thing. If you say to yourself you want to drink more water, you know, you can form a habit of setting a reminder on your phone, an hourly reminder on your phone that says time to drink water. You know, time to drink water. So you're forming a new habit. You know, you're having reminders along the way. So those are just some of the things that you can do, you know, to help you. So whatever you want to be disciplined in, go through some of those steps that I've said, and then you would find yourself there.
Thank you so much. Olushole is saying it's also important to know the how on the resolve. This is because in most cases people concentrate on the when, which is true as far as a resolution is concerned. So at the end of this year, I will be a millionaire. Fine. What about the how to deliver that million, right? As correct the errors of the past, create new discipline for the future consistently, then you build a fantastic. And like Titi said, first thing you need is to know your weakness. Everyone has some form of weakness. Know your weakness. Take your temptation away or stay away from your temptation. You know, and biscuits as well for some people. So helping yourself to have someone to help you is very important. Very, very important. I'm afraid that's all we can take for today. It's been a great one. It's been a great one. But the truth is, you know, as we end the show today, I believe that Titi might want to say maybe a parting shot or last words on the show today. I just want people to understand that this is not just a topic. This should be a mandate. It's something that you and I must be definite about. We're going to move away from resolution because it's not meant for you to stay there. We're meant to race towards results so that eventually we end up with a reputation that will serve you, that will serve me, not just in the short term, in the midterm as well, and also on the long term. So Titi, over to you as you give us a parting shot.
My parting shot is saying, decide your reputation. You know, because if you're not deciding it, it's already decided for you by your inaction. So be intentional in deciding your reputation. Make the relevant resolve to help you get your reputation. You know, be disciplined and to get there. It's not easy, but you know, making a decision is the first start. Okay.
I love that. Thank you so much. So you've heard it from Titi said, decide your reputation, else it's decided for you already. Take that decision and make the sacrifice to be disciplined. And of course, you end up with something better than you expect. It's the end of the show today, and we would like to say a goodbye and, of course, have a great day because it's always
a good morning.
Show. Thank you for joining. Like our video, share the video, subscribe to our channel. Bye.